Howdy, boys. Welcome on in. We got a good one. James Pearce Jr. We have this gentleman here. You know, if you asked me, at the end of the college football season last year, who's going to be the number one pass rusher for the 2025 draft, 2025, or, I guess 2024 college football season, James Pearce Jr. was pretty much the clear-cut dude that a lot of people were kind of pushing into, like, this is going to be the guy. As you can see, PFF currently has him at the 34th. This is 34th out of the top 100 on the big board, but he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the edge rushers report. And this is always going to be iffy. I tell you guys all the time, if you're watching this by the time the combine's happening, by the time the Senior Bowl's up and moving, East Rush, Shrine Games, all those deals, these players are going to be moved up. These players are going to be evaluated. They're going to be questioned. They're going to be talked about. They're going to say, why did you do this? And then we're going to get a lot more context of why James Pearce Jr. probably didn't have, the season, he or a lot of the analysts, evaluators kind of look for. There's always a story to something. And another thing that I want to tell you guys, you're going to be seeing a lot of all types of evaluators out there. I like Dane Brugler. I like Mike Renner. Those are the two main dudes that I go to. Dane Brugler with The Athletic, Mike Renner, who started with PFF, and he's gone in all types of directions. He'll be with someone else next year if he doesn't stick with CBS. But 6'5", 243, that's what it says. It's all BS. We can't do any of this crap of this is what size he actually is, the weight he actually played at, until the combine. That's the only time we'll get any type of information. So I really don't like going over height and weight. Just because we don't know what they're going to be whatsoever. PFF, in case anyone wants to know, like the reason why I use them, the reason why I love PFF is because it tracks so much information, but it also shows progression. A lot of y'all know this already. 2022, Mr. James Pearce Jr. as a freshman had a 68 overall grade score for PFF. I love it. I love it when I see progression. So in 2023, 90.4 PFF grade and 85.9 in 2024 PFF grade. So a little bit of decline. But like I said, there's always a story as to why. So one thing that I know and believe translates to the NFL is, can you get to the quarterback? 13 times Mr. James Pearce Jr. did that last year and only 8 times this year. But even with that being said, I think he has a lot of great tools. I think he has an okay get off. He is a little bit slender on the film side. If you look at him, he seems a little bit smaller, but there's a Hakeem Reddick. There's so many, Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick, where is he at right now? Was on the Eagles, doing all this weird stuff with the Jets. So that's kind of that. That's why I really don't look at size, weight, all that stuff. Can you play? 89.6 pass rush grade, run defense grade at 83.3. Love those. True pass set, pass rush grade. So anytime it's whether it be shotgun or under the center, if it's no play action and it's a real true pass set, I don't even know if motion counts in that. Maybe, possibly. How good are you getting at the quarterback in a true pass set pass rush? And then pass rush win rate at 23%. We love that. And then run stop grade at a 10.3. We're going to be going over the Oklahoma game. That's the film that we have on him right now. Where are we at? We're at 4 minutes. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is the Oklahoma game, as I said. I think he had an okay game. I'm an OU fan, so I did see this game live. The other rusher that we'll see, the other edge rusher that we see, I think he made just a little bit more of an impact in this game over James Pearce Jr. But we'll see. There is more film. There's going to be more film out on James Pearce Jr. So for all these dudes, I'll be more than likely doing another breakdown on them as well. So maybe we'll get another all 22 for Mr. Pearce. But y'all ready? Let's do this. All right, so here we go. Outside shade of that right tackle. You see him 7 technique. The right tackle for Oklahoma, he's pretty good. You're going to see him, really stand up to the power rush of James Pearce Jr., but James Pearce Jr. really loves to use his speed as well. I kind of see him as like a speed of power type of pass rusher. So let's lock in. Let's see what he's got here on this first play. Like I said, right outside that right tackle. Let's see what's going down. He immediately is able to kind of funnel on in, see pullers coming his way, and have his base kind of set right here. And he's kind of just fighting with that guard. Let's see it from this angle right here. So you guys kind of see what I'm saying. I mean, he's not as endearing as number 90 over here or even 20. Just seems a little bit more slender, but I like his get off. I like how he's already there. I would love to have his shoulder there instead of his hands, just because you have your shoulder there, take on more impact, but then kind of be ready on the outside. I think if the running back on this particular play, if you guys, kind of see it the way I see it, let's see, it's rewinded. I mean, he's right here. Of course, it's a counter, but if my running back wanted to get a little iffy, little twitchy, James Pearce kind of gets reached here. If Javonte Barnes, 51 can hand up 10 a little bit better, and Javonte Barnes was able to kind of cut it out this way, right? If number 10's not there, maybe. But if there's a better guard, better offensive line, that possibly will work. But like I said, anytime I have an edge kind of collapsing in, see pullers, I like the shoulder just a little bit more. Or you just take out, a lot of teams preach taking out the legs of those guards, just chopping them down so it can cause a pile up and your boys can go and eat. Once again, outside that right tackle, standing up, brushes them off. So I like the shock that he gave the right tackle, and then you see the extension, him trying to kind of figure out what's going down, and then you see the last attempt of him trying to bat that ball down. So boom, gets in. Let's use the pin. All right. So as y'all see him, really engaged right here. So he doesn't have the extension as of now. But as you see right there, boom. You see that, guys? Oh, sorry. This is foolish. All right. So boom, right there. He extends, brushes him off, and he's ready to play. Almost gets the ball in the air. Like that. That's good. We still haven't seen anything yet, though. And that's the kind of thing, James, he was getting really praised last year. So let's see if he can, make something on this film. Once again, closes in, gets in there. Okay, so he has a tight end coming his way this time. Oklahoma, I guess they love to pull a lot of blocks where it's coming from a blindside approach. Offensive line, for the edge rushers. So the edge rushers got to be aware. Multiple times we've already seen that James Pearce is aware of pulling guards, pulling tight ends, or even motion tight ends, ready to do a crack block. And then look at that, brushes them off. And you see how he kind of did what I said, where he kind of really puts his shoulder into that tight end. Right? So tight ends are here, and he just puts his shoulder there and is able to brush it off. And a lot of times when you don't use your arms, a lot of times, that blocker doesn't have anything to really grab on. So you just use that shoulder. Maybe you'll get some type of holding call. Outside of the right tackle once again. It's got motion his way. Little speed on the outside in. Doesn't get any action his way in this one. Quarterback kind of runs out, but still, look at his get off. Look at that. And then he gets his hand. I like the hands where they're at. You see, ooh, Mr. James. A lot of these things can't be coached, but you see this. He has control of this guard's hand. That's if you can get a control of wrist. If you can control of a guard's wrist and you can control him, you're stronger than him. Holy moly, is that beautiful stuff. And then, right, you see he was able to just brush it off, get into the outside. He didn't have a chance to make that play, but man, I like that hand placement, control of the wrist. Now he's on the right side as opposed to the left side. Is that a left tackle out there? Yep. You see him kind of using that speed and then just immediately zones up to him. Bases up to him, I guess is a better term. So let's see it from this angle. He's ready. He's got that arm kind of wound up a little bit, showing speed. And you see that outside approach and this go to power and then a little bit of a stunt. Yeah. And so that's lateral quickness, being able to move laterally. When I was looking at his film, he does stunts really, really well. On the top right here, power, just bull rushing a little bit. I mean, look at these left tackles kind of get pushed back. Here he is right here on a hit. Boom. I mean, if Oklahoma's kind of holding on to the ball and not giving it out super quick, I think he has time to get there. I want to see a play, though, right, guys? I want to see something beautiful. A little bit of a 5, right? A little bit head on with that left tackle. Oh, clogs up the lane. Clogs up the lane. This is beautiful. Here he is right here. Has an opportunity to really cause a pile up right here. And that's exactly what he does. He causes up a beautiful pile up. Let's slow it down a little bit. Slow it down a little bit. And just look at this chaos. He's getting double blocked right here. And a lot of the times you see an edge rusher already on the ground. You can see an edge rusher kind of getting blown back. And then he's just there to cause the pile up. Running back had no gaps, no lanes to kind of find. Good job, Mr. Pearce. Over that right tackle, outside shade, little stunt. See, that's clean. That's super clean. A lot of edge rushers, they seem clunky. They seem like, oh, I have to do this, so I will do this. It seems like he's really good at swiftly. Look how he just swiftly is able to get over into the opposite A gap. And he's there. Super fast, super quick, a little bit stealthy. You could see how the guards are a little late to pick him up on it. They didn't see him coming in. And when he does come, he's a fast player. And he's going to just bull through that A gap. Outside. All right. Gets reached. Gets reached. Let's look at it from the O-line view. So number 76, Mr. Sexton, sees Mr. James Pearce out here, this outside shade, and you're going to see Mr. Sexton kind of really, unfortunately, get a good reach block on Mr. Pearce. So you always, as you're an edge rusher, you don't want this, man. Yes, this is a hold, but if this, tackle, and you're going to get a little chip block here, is able to get on that outside arm and control that outside arm, you really get reached. But even with that chip, luckily 55 and 11 are paying attention and they're focused. 55 being an inside the trench dude. Number 55, he's at D tackle. He's with inside of Mr. James Pearce here. And then you're just able to see, like I said, on hit, Mr. Sexton gets out, has that outside control, gets chipped, and then James is getting really funneled in there. Luckily, 55 and 11 were out there to really, secure any type of outside run, right? Outside run. So that's good. That's good. Don't get reached. Always have that, hold that out. You need that outside arm out. You need that outside arm out. Here he is. Got the tight end on him. Another stunt. Is just able to, hey, we're there. Let's talk about it. So, he does most of everything pretty awesome here, right? So we'll slow it down. Yeah, I like what he does here. We got another stunt. Hard, really tough you can see these guards. They have a tough time kind of picking them up, seeing them. 54 gets him pretty good. And then quarterback sees chaos, and he has him right here. And there's breakdown. Wrap up. Get low. What are you doing? That's a quarterback spin move. You got to wrap up, especially when you have those opportunities that kind of look like it was behind the line of scrimmage. A little underwhelming, if you ask me. But here he is outside that right tackle again. 7 tech. Quarterback change too. So more speed on this quarterback. If that's Jaden Daniels, if that's Lamar Jackson. This kid's, Mr. James is about to be in the NFL. And just really depending on where he goes, this could be an actual problem. Kyler Murray, the difference from this, freshman right here, freshman quarterback, is when he breaks that tackle, when he sees that the edge has, missed his responsibility. Look at James Pearce, a little bit of a flake block. Hey, let's go inside. That's what the offensive line says. I want to let everything outside go. Why? Because Mr. James has a terrible angle. You always want to point when you're doing any type of pass rush. You see how he's like angled right here? He's angled to the inside. You always want to look for that outside shoulder. on a quarterback because of things like this, right? Quarterback just says, okay, he's headed to my inside. Let me just go outside, brush his. You see, he even touches the inside shoulder. He even gets to the inside shoulder. What's up? Shorty's outside. And yeah, that's terrible, terrible work, right? That's just bad. That could have been an ordeal where a quarterback is still looking downfield. You know, if it wasn't for Tennessee's defense really being locked in, maybe Mr. Hawkins goes up for, you know, some type of score or big play. Not great. So we've been seeing consistently how he kind of loses contain a little bit. Top right here, good speed. Get there. Nice speed. It looks like it's his gift, and offensive linemen may know that. So they're really, I mean, look at 76. He pretty much prematurely gets out ready. Know this guy's like speed, and he just keeps going. Offensive line puts his head down. James gets there, gets a tackle, gets a little half sack. Beautiful, beautiful. I like that one. And as you guys seen right now, there's nothing seriously beautiful going on. Outside rush stays in there. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing him take over the game. I'm seeing kind of other teammates, you know, unfortunately take over the game. The nose tackle right here, number 51, he makes this play. But still great work. Using that speed. Ooh, good chop right there. Doesn't get through. You see that offensive lineman has his chest. Why aren't you extending? Why is the offensive lineman have your shirt? I need you to extend there. You tried to do the chop. It did not work. And now he just has you. Once again, if it weren't for the novice approach of this quarterback, oh, number 51 gets there. And, you know, like I said, if it wasn't for other players that we've seen so far, you know, James Pearce is kind of not being the solution that we need. Outside of that right tackle, speed, gets pushed up, still there. What is that? What is that? I mean, that happens. That happens. Not necessarily in college. So it kind of looks like speed once again. Got beautiful control of this right tackle's elbow right here. You always want to get the arm, shoulder, elbow, wrist, whatever you can do to control the offensive lineman. And he gets there. Really good. This is for James Pearce. Really good recovery from that right tackle. And he just wasn't able to make that play. Gets a hand on the quarterback. You can see that's the second time he's, you know, or third time. Twice with this quarterback and with Jackson Arnold can get his hands on him, but you got to get these guys down. So is that weight? Is that arm strength? So many things that, you know, James Pearce, Von Miller, that's not happening, right? I mean, we there's so many, you know, even Travon Walker. If he gets an arm on you as a quarterback, bye bye. But I like James Pearce. So far, he's been able to show a lot of speed. He can clog up lanes. Look at right here. You know, he really likes his speed on the outside. Has an unfortunate issue with extending those arms. You know, not allowing that tackle to get his hands really planted on you. A little bit of an outside move. Still working, still pushing. Again, James, I don't even remember all this. How many times are you touching the quarterback? So, I mean, this is good work. He keeps going. He keeps pushing, using a little bit of power here. Oh, try to go inside because he keeps using that speed outside. So he tried to come in, and he just gets stoned up. But I hate this right here. He gets kind of free. He has his sights on the quarterback, and he's just not able to get there. But his teammates are on the goal line. So at this point in time, especially in that 4-point stance as my edge rusher, I need you to go. Whatever your job is, if your job is to slant in, you need to go. If your job is to blow everything straight back, you got to go. And so I just want to see if he can. Nice. I like that. Yeah, go. Let's see. I just don't like how he's always near it. He's almost there. Just gets blown up by his, you know, counterpart edge rusher. So, I mean, and his buddy didn't go down, but he went down. Once again, a little bit more power. I like that little rip through he did. Still not able to make the play. So I guess we kind of see it here. And that doesn't mean that if he can get to, you know, the Denver Broncos, if he can get to the New Orleans Saints, that we can't see a different version of him. You know, if he ends up in Philly, whatever it might be, there's still, how do I say this? There's still something to be said for a guy that can do okay things to a point to where, I mean, I don't even think this is true what I'm about to say. I mean, it kind of looks like James Pearce Jr. relies on the players around him. This is a team sport, 100%. But I feel like a lot of these big time rushers, you know, the Abdul Carters, we're going to get to JT Tuimoloau, the Ohio State ager, at some point. And you kind of see them take over the game, right? Where they're really the problem. They're really the disruptor. But in this one, you kind of saw a collective group. We saw a lot of errors with James Pearce Jr. A lot of times where he had an opportunity. Chris Jones, who of course is an interior guy, a lot bigger than James Pearce, but 4 times in a game, would you see an edge rusher in the National Football League get a hand on a quarterback and not be able to bring him down, or be there and have a quarterback spin move on you to where you aren't able to get the tackle? Not super common, right? Not super common, and so we got more to go through right now. I'm not going to put that bid on him to be a first-round draft pick. This is a player that we just seen from this game against Oklahoma. He's definitely going to need combine numbers. I got to know how fast you are. I got to know how many bench press reps you can do of 225. I want to see your explosiveness. I need to see the broad jump with him. A lot of things are up in the air with James Pearce Jr. after watching this film, but I don't not like him, but got to see better. Maybe he has more games. I got all 22. I got a guy, I got a plug, and so we'll see if we get more games on him. And then when we do, we'll go over it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.